Today I'm installing a RV oven up at the Maine cabin here. These are really good for tiny homes, deer camps, ice fishing shacks even. They have 3 burners on the top with a nice cover. Allows you some extra workspace. No electricity is required. Everything lights kind of like a grill, like that. And the oven's really good size. And that's really why I wanted this, is because I'm tired of cooking on top of a little camp stove and pans. I'd like to be able to bake some stuff in the oven with winter approaching. So anyways, we're going to get this installed. I do have it already marked out on the counter right there. Get this project going. These stoves are a lot smaller than a kitchen stove. This one is around, we got 21.5 by about 20 inches. They're a slide-in stove, so they're kind of self-supporting. They do have an overhang, right there. And I don't know if you can see this. There's some. Okay, there they are, right there. I'm going to put a 2x4 going across, and there's these bolt holes right there that will screw in, that supports it. So when you cut your opening, you got to cut it a little smaller than this. I think it's about 7/8 smaller than the 21.5 this particular stove measures. So this has already been marked out on the counter. The outside line is the 21. These outside marks is the 21.5. And then the inside mark that I'll be cutting out is minus that 7/16. So the black trim piece was going to sit up on top of the plywood, right along there, and then across the back, and then down that side. And we'll have to put a 2x4 in here. I'm going to have to move that leg, probably put one on each side. And that should be pretty good. Then after we get this in there, we'll show you how to hook up the propane. Okay, I have the hole all cut. We just got some temporary supports in there to support the weight of the stove. Just did a test fit. Looks like I need to go back about another 3/8 of an inch. There's some the screw holes that attach this. They're offset so it spaces, so you can't put it right up tight to the wood. So I just need to compensate for that. Going to do that right now, and then pop it back in. All right, so this is where we're at. We got the legs in. I had some reclaimed wood that I put along the front of the edge there, which is going to build, so I didn't have to cut that back anymore. If you remember, I said it was about 3/8 off, and that wood's about a 1/2 inch wide. Just a little bit of trim. I did add some 45s in there, just so if somebody kicked one of these legs in, because they're just temporary. I made this whole counter. It's just a 4x8 sheet of plywood cut in half, so it gives you an 8x10 counter. So getting ready, we're going to just slide the stove into place. Okay, we got the stove slid into place. Now we're just going to secure it. There is, inside here, we're going to put some screws. There's double screws on here, in the back, all 4 corners. There's some double screw holes. So we're going to get that done. Then we're going to hook up the gas connection. Okay, so this is where the propane hooks up. This fitting right here, just put some Teflon tape around that. Make sure you don't get any near the end here, because you don't want it blocking the flow of gas. And this copper, I have a flaring tool. This is a flare, so that fits on there. And this is called an acorn nut. You can have this piece made up at at an RV dealership or even auto parts. But basically, you're just going to thread this onto here and tighten it up. And then I'll grab a wrench and probably just give that a 1/2 turn. You don't want to over tighten it. And we'll do the other side, which is where the regulator. The stove has to have a regulator. It has a small regulator right here. but it still has to have the regulator at the propane tank as well. So this is the regulator you're going to want to use. This is called a 2-stage regulator. This is the part that I just grabbed my my propane bottle off my grill so we can show you this. This is the part that's going to hook to the grill right here, and that nut right there has is for the other flare side. You can see that right there for the copper line that's going to hook to it. Now your bottles are supposed to be mounted outside, and you want to make sure these have vents on them. I don't know if you can see the little screens. There's one there, there's one on the other one. Right there. Make sure those are pointing down. You don't want those pointing up. Alright, because this has to breathe. And you don't want to put this in a place where it's going to be like covered in the snow as well. So, alright, let me get this on here now. It's a quick shot. This is what it looks like mounted on the propane bottle. Okay, we have both gas connections hooked up. Before you do anything, after you turn the bottle on, make sure you spray this fitting with some soap and make sure it's not leaking. And also that one right there at the grill bottle. Make sure you spray those. Make sure you don't want anything leaking here. Let's see here how we work. There you go. Looks good. It's pretty good. Worked out well. Awesome.